Illusions also serve. On your destiny path, you'll pass through many domains of existence. As you grow in body, mind, and spirit, and pass through these concentric spheres of consciousness or phases of life, you'll break through many illusions. Remember how in elementary school, above the blackboard, they had pictures of little balls that were meant to represent atoms? When you saw them, you probably thought, oh, atoms are spheres, but when you got into high school, you found out that they weren't exactly spheres after all, and were made up of subatomic protons, neutrons, and electrons. When you got to college, you found out that atoms are actually believed to be probability distributions of waves and particles, and that protons are made of quarks, gluons, and other subatomic particles. Then, when you went on to receive your PhD, you discovered that explanation was just an hypothesis and a theory that's still open to discussion. Now, as a professor emeritus, you realize that all these theories are just somebody's belief systems. In some cases, they're nothing more than institutional imperatives, not truths, and anyone can come along with a new model and theory that will supersede them someday. Everyone's believed truth eventually becomes another illusion on the next level of understanding. If you were 10 years old and I gave you $10, you'd be pretty happy. And if someone stole $10 from your piggy bank, you'd be pretty sad. Now, if you were 20 years old and I gave you $100, you'd be happy. And if I took $100 away, you'd be sad. When you're 30 years old, receiving $1,000 makes you happy, and losing it saddens you. If you're 40 years old and I give you $10,000, you'd be pretty happy. And if I took $10,000 away, you'd be pretty angry. Now imagine you are 50. If I were to write you a check right now for $100,000, that would probably elate you, and take it away would depress you. And if you keep growing in wealth by the age of 60, giving or taking $1 million would make you happy or sad. But if I were to give you $10 at 60, would I make you happy? Probably not. And taking $10 away wouldn't do a lot to a 16 years old either. Each of those ages is at a different concentric sphere of wealth consciousness. Someone can run you at 10 years old with $10, but to get the same emotional reaction from a 60 years old, you have to give or take away $1 million because their perceived value has grown and they've evolved. Everything is relative. The dollar numbers don't actually matter because gain and loss are just a matter of perception. Pleasure and pain and elation and depression are conserved through every moment and level of life. They keep growing in magnitude or multitude, but because you've also grown, these two imposters will feel exactly the same to you. Whatever makes you happy will make you sad to the same degree. Life doesn't really get any harder or easier than it is already. Birth to the baby, kindergarten to the infant, dating to the adolescent, work, marriage, career, midlife crisis, aging, death, and whatever comes next, all are equal to the person experiencing them. We don't experience challenges that are beyond us. Primary school students aren't given calculus. The whole world is a school, and it's the illusions of gain and loss, and fear and courage that makes it exciting and depressing, ideal and real, and ultimately fulfilling. At every level or sphere of life, there's a gratitude-based heaven or an ingratitude-based hell, depending on your perceptions at that moment. No matter how many levels you go through, you're going to remain in balance. We go through an infinite series of concentric spheres, from judgment to indifference and then love, over and over again in a cycle. We're not here to be one-sided. We're not even here to be happy. We're here to love. Love is so much more profound than happiness. Happiness is but a transient emotion compared to the eternal truth, fulfillment, grandeur, and grace of love. And we're not meant to stay happy anyway. We're here to grow from quantum to quantum through love. The second we love one elusive quantum, we go to the next. And when we love the elusive quantum, we go on to still the next. The masses are easily swayed by emotions and rhetoric, but as they individually evolve and become masterful, they join the fewer in number and greater in consciousness. They join with those who are guided by love and wisdom. It's not right or wrong that this happens, it's just the way it is. We have many people who play sports, but few top athletes. Many painters, but few master artists. Many who can carry a tune, but few musical geniuses. The truth has never been in the hands of the masses. It has always been in the hands of the masters in every field. Most people don't even want to know the truth. It scares them, and they'd rather have the comfort of their illusions. Why? Because the truth requires perfect accountability for one's own perceptions and lies, and some people aren't ready for that. As you mature, you grow in wisdom, outreach, and accountability by facing and embracing your illusions. It happens in every area of life, and you wouldn't want it to ever stop. Life involves an infinite progression, and you're never done. If you think you're supposed to get someplace where it's all over, you've just finished the infinite and missed the big picture. I wouldn't love life to get easier. I'd love life to get more challenging, because the more challenge and chaos I perceive I've been given, the more order I'm able to create. I'd rather embrace life in its profoundness. I prefer that when I'm 100 years old, I'm taking on even more accountability than I do today. If I am, I'm still alive. If I'm not, I died long before my bodily death.